Welcome, foolish mortals. My name is Antonia Cecilia, and I shall be your host for the showing of the hoard of treasures that have accumulated in a certain suitcase over the last weeks and months. I shall start with what I'm wearing, because I have been told that is custom in these circles. First of all, there is this delightful little shawl. Black on a holiday, you could call it. Iridescent like a beetle's wings, and who says it isn't? There is also this cropped waistcoat that goes very well with my style sensibilities. And last but certainly not least, and although it is not morning jewelry, which would be so delightful, I have this little thing. It's chains heaving with my bosom in the throes of passion or tragedy. I would much prefer tragedy. It's so much more interesting. Inside this little box of treasure, there are the other accessoires, the shiny things that make the magpie folk go wild. There's this immortalized hand of a soothsayer, pointing towards future or past. We shall never know. It would look fantastic, I would say, on my head wrap, if Hedge wouldn't claim it for her pedestrian jackets all the time. Another thing that I shall fasten on my headdress would be this beauty, formerly a belt buckle. I will have it made into a pin that I can put on my head. But what can you do? It is whatever the spirits of the thrift store will let you have, right? You might deduce from my appearance that I'm not too fond of gold, but don't be mistaken. I could absolutely not resist this little hat pin, and maybe I knew something that the seller didn't. It might just be an ordinary hat pin, but it might as well be a fairy weapon of legend, made to impale a great giant, cruel snake, or the local lord. And another piece of gold would be this beautiful little treasure, again with swaying little chains. I really like these brooches to fasten in my collars, because they evoke in me the spirit, the air of all of the maiden spinster aunts that I come from. On a more feral note, these earrings formed like either daggers to impale a king, or poisoned arrows shot by Cupid, made for a doomed love affair. And I also got a pair of spoons. One can never have enough teaspoons, and aren't these delightful in their darkened, blackened way, with the shell detail and the beautiful little rose down here. And to end the shiny things, I have this lovely little heart box. It's perfect to store the broken heart of an ex-lover, or poison, or accessoires. Or you could put boiled sweets in there, I guess, and then claim it is poison, because that makes for a much more convincing and interesting story, doesn't it? I forgot a shiny. It is this empty frame of a once beautiful silver hand mirror. I like its blindness. I shall probably hang it in my den, fitted with an illustration or a portrait of someone doomed. I might not necessarily look the part, but I am sometimes smitten by a piece of entertainment, and I've wanted to watch Burke and Hare for quite a while. They were resurrectors, if you don't know, digging up the dearly departed in the name of science, and sometimes going a bit overboard with it. I can't wait to watch this. And in a far more classically gothic, dark romantic notion, I also found this, an old copy of E.T.A. Hoffmann's Nachtstücke, written in old German print. Just look at this delightful front page for the Sandman. This would be the perfect book for my bedside table if I had one, and if I slept like a normal person, like the rest of the innocent mortals. Instead, I'll have to stay up and write, that I must stay up and write by the light of a flickering candle and pour my heart out. But I digress. Something that has been on my reading list for quite a while would be Il Principe by Niccolò Machiavelli. Sadly, I don't speak Italian, although one of my spinster ancestors lived in Venice for a while after running away with a dashing young poet. It didn't last. Of course it didn't. She had to remain a spinster. That's how it works. And also Dante Alighieri's Divine Comedy. Although these reclams are garish and ugly, and I should probably have them rebound, which is not the case for these beautiful little old reclams that I found. We have the Vampire, the complete opera book. We've got The Dreamer by Kopisch, which is a novel instead of a libretto. Another opera book, another little epithet, and last but not least we have Ibsen's Peer Gynt. It counts as a bit of a classic in my circles. After all, it does concern itself with the otherworldly, doesn't it? And I have been told that in these kinds of videos people are usually most interested in attire. So last but not least, let's go on to the textiles. There is, for one, and this is one of two more colourful pieces, this beautiful printed skirt that I snatched up for a friend of mine. She delights in these classical prints. To get it out of the way, this is the other colourful piece that emerged from the suitcase. It is a cute little bodice. I'm not quite sure why I'm to present this, but I guess it has to do with the velvet. Although the tiny little heart flowers are a bit cheerful. It is a nice cut though. I suggest to you that you put other buttons on there, though. These are very rural. Oh, on the other hand, this lace is perfect. It is this yellowish, faded white that I love so much. The white of dried white roses laid on a maiden's grave. Another velvet piece would be this dark red velvet bow tie, which I guess she will put in her dresses, won't you? But maybe together with this bodice, because it actually works quite well together, even though it is a bit of a darker shade. Maybe it does work so well because of the darker shade. I think that is the case. There's also this chunky leather belt. Very much 80s in its style sensibilities, but I think I can make it work. And you know, I usually don't go out without my gloves on, but these little wrist warmers, aren't they delightful? I really enjoy the color of them, and their floral design matches this little slip. It is very airy, perfect for a summer's day when the merciless sun shines down on us, makes wearing black a very, very unpopular choice. But this is light. This is cool. And I would probably choose this should I actually to go out on a summer's day. I shall need a hat. I shall need a wide-brimmed black hat. Maybe with a veil. That would be so romantic. And mysterious. Of course it would be mysterious and probably a point of ridicule with the local youth, but there are 2 items left, dear viewers, and one of them is this beautiful black gown. Although, just like the summer slip and the bodice, this is also a case of please replace those buttons. And we might get rid of the edelweiss on the sleeves as well. But other than that, it is a beautiful velvet and it goes right down to my calves. Almost to my ankles. I am very, very pleased with this find, and it swishes divinely. And last, but certainly not least, there is this divine dress. It features my favorite colors. Isn't that lovely? And lace. And velvet. I reckon it's a ball gown from the 1980s and has an abundance of petticoats. Another thing from the lovely suitcase that I am very, very pleased about. Now, the next installment of these shows of treasure, I refuse to call this a haul. It sounds horrible and pedestrian. The next installment of this show of treasures will be held by Hedge again, but I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Please leave a comment down below about which treasure you like the most, and if you have found anything magical lately, if you can find it in your heart, like this video and maybe subscribe to this channel. It would be a pleasure to have you here. And I bid you all farewell, foolish mortals. Oh god, this is so warm. But for the sake of today's thrift haul, what a delightfully pedestrian word. God, fuck! Please don't be so prosaic. Who is doing the thing? You or me?